Hi Andrew, welcome back again.
Thank you.
Nice you're here to share all your knowledge, not all, but some of your knowledge and information with us. Yeah, welcome. Andrew, I heard that one of the focuses in your training is suppression. Can you explain us suppression?
Suppression is the concept that was highlighted by the father of homeopathy, Samuel Hahnemann. And he was attempting to teach the doctors at the time that probably a lot of the medicines they were using were actually suppressing illnesses. So what he did was really quite fascinating. He had a man who had tuberculosis, and he gave the man with tuberculosis a smallpox infection. And as the smallpox increased, the symptoms of the tuberculosis disappeared. So he showed the doctors this process, and then they said, well, you know, if that's true, then you should be able to reverse the process. And so he did. He helped the person to overcome the smallpox with homeopathic preparations, by the way. And as the smallpox disappeared, the symptoms of the tuberculosis came up. They then said, well, if you can fix up his smallpox with homeopathics, then you should be able to fix up his tuberculosis with homeopathics. He said, okay, and he did. But the point of the exercise was to show that stronger illnesses or stronger energetic patterns can suppress weaker ones. This was his example of the concept of suppression. And in homeopathy, as there are the same possibilities in other modalities, it's possible to give the person something that will stop their ability to produce a symptom, to express the pattern of illness, and as a consequence, we don't have symptoms. The unfortunate thing is that people think that when they don't have symptoms, they don't have a problem. In fact, as with the example of Hahnemann, that man still had tuberculosis, but it just couldn't express itself because he was too busy doing smallpox. So that means energetically he's compromised. There's something going on inside of him that in the long term is going to find another way to express itself. So to shortcut that process so people aren't going to create other illnesses later on in life, we actually look for suppressions, things that people have done that have suppressed the energetic pattern that they started with or that they need to express, and as a consequence those old patterns will come to the surface. Then we can use neurotraining to help them to overcome those same patterns. So that way we can speed up the true healing process for people so that they can recuperate from things in a much, much more efficient way. A person cannot really recuperate properly when they're having to fight off various suppressions. Suppressions are just that. They suppress the person's ability to do something, either mentally, emotionally, physically, energetically, but they suppress the person and so they can't do something. So they learn how to go around it. But if what they're doing is a continual suppressive process, then they're going to get worse and worse and worse in the long term, and then they have sudden illnesses occur, sudden problems. So in the processes of neurotraining, we treat suppression as a very high priority, and we look for it after every time we make any change with a client, because it might be the only possible time for us to find the suppressions. So we're constantly looking for suppression and balancing it so that it's not there anymore. With the elimination of suppression, the person can actually reveal the true patterns of what's affecting them, and we can work on them and help them to overcome them. So they get better faster. No more suppression.
Sounds great.